Esse jogo bonito que eu quero ver. Eu venci a batalha de Samacujê. A ideia, a ideia, a ideia, a ideia. Thanks and praise, dissidents. Welcome back. Much love and respect. Today I'm putting some real value on offer. Some real value on offer today. So, allow me to mention my Cash App down below in the beginning. I want to vindicate the Slick Dissident Compendium. I want to prove that when you stare at any single thing long enough, eventually you will see all of the things. A lot of folks see me rapping and weaving on tarot cards, and I'd imagine that it comes to their mind, how in the heck did he find the Aeolipile in the star card? And how can he claim that that's a tambourine and a steam-powered instrument? Great amount of the value of communicating through art is the both and. The both and. And we are in the age of both and. And there is a new level of literacy that lets our eyes see. And a lot of folks out there, they're not up to date. They're just not up to speed. They're still caught in that linear book coat. So I want to put a lot of books on the table and circle around the wagons so that we can see a greater purview of what this library has to offer, what the true Library of Alexandria draws its power from. I'm going to give thanks to Giordano Bruno. I'm going to give thanks to Pico della Mirandola. And I'm going to give thanks to Machiavelli. Those bastards have taught us that honoring the elders is a very, very fortifying technology. This is a higher grade of techne than just having a lot of books in your life. There's a much higher techne available. And it has a great deal to do with knowing that every book has a spirit. And that spirit is enriched more as you are by coming back to the book multiple times. A lot of people just think that a book is a book is a book is a book, but they've never gone back and read things the second, the third, the fourth time to gain the full nutritional potential of how a book grows along with its reader. One of Giordano's tricks, I think, had to do with, I think he was working some braille system up his sleeves. And one of Machiavelli's tricks is the Opus Dei. I ain't down with all that. Collecting thrushes throughout his day, coming home and communing with the dead. The collection of thrushes is an Opus Dei nod and a wink. So, I ain't down with all that. But I do know that those who can tolerate a certain threshold of pain have a much stronger memory system. Much stronger. In fact, if we're including the anamnesis potentia, those who have endured have a much stronger memory palace than a lot of the people who make casual with these systems. All right, I want to start with the moon card. This one is essentially originally this is Plato himself, and its corresponding 9 is the Hermit card, And the Hermit card is Diogenes. So this one is Plato's Realm of Forms. This is R2D2, holding the orb of Urania, the vault of the heavens, the realm of forms is right here. This is Plato. The Hermit card is Diogenes, hanging out with his dog pack in the wine barrel. That wine barrel is the Crator constellation. Diogenes walks into Plato's school one day with a naked chicken, puppeting a naked chicken, says, "Look, I found a human being," refuting Plato's claim that humans were eloquent, naked, upright chickens. Diogenes stole a student that day from Plato. This is Hegel. Hegel was in his heyday working his Gordian's knot out of the thesis, synthesis, antithesis system that eventually Napoleon would pick up and throttle, and it would become the cornerstone of the fusion of church and state forever. You can never divide church and state after Hegel. Sorry, you can't. Can't be done. Schopenhauer was jealous of Hegel's popularity, and he actually scheduled his classes at the same exact time so he could steal students from Hegel, just like Diogenes onto Plato. These echoes are highly suspect. They're highly suspect. They might be the source code. So, this will be Hegel. This will be Schopenhauer. Schopenhauer, also Goethe. Goethe is actually going to be the German version of the Sun card. The German version of the Sun card is Goethe, who hooked up with the Schopenhauer, and they basically are the source code of the Faust story. I think Goethe is actually Wagner in the Faust story. Schopenhauer is Faust himself. This inflates, magnifies, and proliferates through modern culture in the story of Yoda, in the archetype of Yoda. So Hegel comes along, Hegel, Schopenhauer. Heidegger comes along and is the spider that swallows the fly. And so he is also correspondent to both of these cards, as is Alfred Whitehead. There's a great many great minds, especially the German idealists. But this is going to also be Being in Time. This is also going to be Heidegger. Heidegger is really hiding out in a great many places. This is a great example of it because this is a bat catching a roach. And this roots into the batrachotoxin that is sacred poison that the Jesuits would know quite well. This is also the island of Hawaii in the territories map. Hawaii in reverse is Yahweh. Yahweh was a volcano god. You can see the magma chamber down here. Very powerfully correspondent with Yahweh, Hawaii, and Pisces, I'm pretty sure. Yep, Pisces. Give thanks and praise. A couple post-production epiphanies. I'm going to insert them in the middle just to amplify the value I'm offering today. I got caught up on Carrie Mollusk's name in my recording. So you will notice a little break in the flow of information. I'm going to take advantage of that break to instill the significance of Friedrich Nietzsche as the Magi card. Not really the person, but more the philosophy. The spirit of Nietzsche is this Magi card, the tightrope walker. The tightrope walker is actually a ritualistic observance of a Zoroastrian rite. I believe it's called the walking on the blade. So I want to make sure I don't miss Friedrich Nietzsche as the Magi card of the Thoth deck in terms of its earliest iterations that informed the deck as it was made. Rolling forward through time culturally, Carrie Mullis picks up that torch and carries it forward. That tightrope walker becomes Carrie Mullis walking on the beach shore, as he is iconographically signified as some sort of surfer personality type. So, tightrope walker, the funambulator, becomes the surfer. Hang 10. Hang 10. This is card number 1, reduces to the 1. Another note that I want to put, just a potentia that I missed in the weave going forward in this video. You'll notice I get stumped. I get stumped on the star card. And I want to insert now the potential of seeing this as Ayn Rand. I think the objectivists are way ahead of the game here with the Ayn Rand. Ayn Rand was, culture at large was set up for the Ayn Rand spell with seis in siete, the sex in the siete, sex in the city, was setting up the ladies for that independence streak that's going to march them right to the front lines of the military. So, Ayn Rand, very much so. The sex in the siete, sex in the city, and also going back one episode in Slick Dissident Weaves, I was talking about how Calliope the comet is signified by Socrates as well. Socrates was sprawled out on the fear nature, and he was occulting an empty seat. This number 15 is the 6, and 6 is the sexy symbol. The comet Calliope is occulting 15 stars on her path, just like Socrates occulting the fact that science is a seance. Calliope the comet occulting the sexiness of all the things is just ritualistically observed with Ayn Rand in the being the star of your own story. I ain't discouraging it. Like I said, everything in Slick Dissident world, tread lightly, be very careful. A lot of shadowy, occulted judgment is floating around the significance of this star card. Its implications are not fully disclosed. There's a lot of terms of the agreement that a lot of people need to take their time. I'm going to give Ayn Rand a strong correspondence to this this steam-powered controller. Yeah, I'm going to put Ayn Rand in correspondence to the Age of Aquarius. And with that, I'm going to let everybody get back onto the flow of the Slick Distant Weave, sharing the compendium. I do want to say one more thing. When I get to this priestess card holding the scroll of the Thucydides history of the Peloponnesian War, it's way more important than this little episode is going to be able to convey. The scroll on the lap of Clio is the provenance of equity. And the rules of equity are exactly what Voltaire put in question to shake the worldview of everybody, to weaken the foundation of reality at large. The maxims of equity are where influence comes from. And the maxims of equity are proof that what really runs this world doesn't come with receipts. It's the popular opinion of the general will is very much controlled through the influence. And that is the true currency that makes this system throttle in our imagination. All right. Big love and respect. Let's get back to Carrie Mullis, the modern day Nietzsche. All right. Strengthen. Carrie Mullis. Carrie Mullisk. Dancing naked in the field of your mind. I find it very fascinating that the word field is being removed from the academia. This one is extremely interesting. This one is extremely complicated. This one is very, very potent. The number 1 in the Enneagram is perfectionist with the shadow of wrath. The name for wrath is Satan in the infernal realms. And I'm going to buzz on Satan for just a second. I hate being the one. Very appropriate to use the word hate. Satan and hate are so cheap. They're so cheap. They're so weak. There are much scarier things to be worried about. Satan is cheap, y'all. So cheap. All right. So cheap. And no je ne sais quoi whatsoever. It's so simple. It's just cheap. All right. This card, the Wheel of Fortune card, has a strong Machiavelli pull. It has a strong correspondence to breakaway civilizations. Machiavelli establishes that if you're going to be broken away from the pack, you will need fortuna. You will need fortune on your side. That means that while Moses was off in the wilderness, they were benefiting from fortuna. They were in the dominion of fortuna. This has a strong Hecate correspondence, but not in the pantheon of the Enneagram. But Hecate, Artemis, those who take care of the underdogs in the wilderness, they have a strong propensity for these energies. William Blake, Spinoza, Karl Murex, writing the Communist Manifesto in the City of London. Karl Murex. It's a very powerful card. And the accusation of being a Satanist is a half measure. It's a half measure. That word is insufficient. However, the infernal spirit of the number one station on the Enneagram is Wrath, which is named Satan in the infernal realms. So it's an accurate half measure. Also, look up Blake's poem on the and these feet. Oh, I can't even remember the title. It's the worst title for any poem ever, but it's the alternative national anthem of the city of London, of England. They have a covert, private, secret national anthem. Everybody's okay with that. They're okay with that. They have a crypto national anthem, and everybody's okay with that. There's a lot of Jedis in that country. There's more Jedis than anybody would have guessed. There's more Jedis than what other people would have guessed. They would have been something else. High Priestess. I love this one. A lot of people say that's a Taurus scroll. History of the Peloponnesian War. Thucydides. Get some. Go get some, y'all. Get some. That battle, that battle strategy book has the cover, on its cover generally, not every time, but often, is a flash of the Sicilian flag, the Triskelion, the three legs. That is a hail to the Tower of Babel. It is a 3-day to circumnavigate, to walk around. It takes 3 days' journey to walk around the foundation of the Tower of Babel. It's also the flag of Sicily and the Isle of Man. And I'll even take it as far to say that the Eye of Quebec should be under consideration. Thucydides' history of the Peloponnesian War, it ends on a very monumental battle. It ends at the Battle of Mantinea. That is where Xenophon lost his children, 2 sons. It's a very crucial time in all of history. It's a linchpin moment. And for this book to leave off at Mantinea and Socrates to be summoning Diotima Mantinea, oracle from that city, is picking up the torch out of the written word and passing it forward in the spoken format. And that flame is still alive. That's what Slick is passing forward to everybody. It's beyond what can be written. History of the Peloponnesian War has a nod and a wink to Xenophon. Xenophon is a superior Socrates to Plato's Socrates. Xenophon will black pill you every joke of the way. He'll black pill you all the way, every time, without fail. You can trust the devil in Xenophon. Plato wines you, dines you, 69s you, and waits to the very last line to black pill your ass. I like Xenophon's style better. All right. This should be an Empress card. She's hiding out under here, but she's kind of stuck. Empress card is Dante's Inferno. Empress card is Machiavelli. Machiavelli was always carrying Dante's Inferno around with him. So that when I see the Empress card, I'm not just looking at a picture of some lady sitting in a jellyfish with a couple birds hanging out and a lotus in her hand. I see all those things, and I see Dante, and I see Machiavelli, and I see Maud Gonne. You should too. When I see the Hangman card, I know that this will be Houdini, Harry Houdini, whose name was Eryximachus. Very fascinating how Houdini seems to be super infused with Eryximachus. And Houdini flew the first airplane in the land down under. He's always hanging upside down, and he tells his audience to hold their breath while he goes and does his tricks. Just like Eryximachus told Aristophanes to hold his breath. It's amazing. But also, another thing about this, like the inductive, deductive, penetrative insight of Conan Doyle. Conan Doyle and Houdini had a history together. So also Conan Doyle and Sherlock Holmes is all right here. When I look at this card, I see way more than some dude hanging upside down. You should too. Instrumentally, I like to. Oh, and this is the facade of Stanford University. So that's a lot of information in this card, wouldn't you say? Another thing about this card that I love, this weave, is the cistern. This card makes me want to build my own cistern. And even harvest the material for it from Florida, as the Bermuda Triangle is powerfully embedded into the nature of the Hangman as well. A cistern from Florida, that's what I'm calling. I'm looking for a girl with a gun and a job. That's a long story. I'm not even going to get into it. I think that's Beck. I think. Anyway. Man, what an obscure joke. This is like a walking through time. Okay. Emperor card. Let me think. Rhodes Scholars. Ethiopia. And Aristophanes the clouds, Aristophanes the frogs, Aristophanes. All things Aristophanes here. That's what's up. Moving forward to the Hierophant, the corrupt family legacy, a lot of boring industrialized malarkey around this number 5, as it is the Shadow of Mammon, but also Moses and monotheism should be on your mind, where Freud essentially makes a dangerous assertion with everything I say. Go get the details yourself. I'm being way too general for the sake of time. But in Moses and monotheism, Freud selects a very narrow channel of thought and reason and influence that is not broad. And he makes a powerful case that some of what was observed to be Yahweh in the past was actually a volcano god. It's a great and glorious case that he makes, and he took a lot of flack for it. So, respect, big respect. Now, it's interesting that Freud is in the mammon of number 5 because my number 6 also has a strong Freud implication because of his death drive, his theory of the death drive. But that is the death card, Freud's death drive. Very significant around the death card. And a few other things, some of the forbidden texts around necromancy that get with one-on-one on that one. Okay, over here, this will be Francois de la Rochefoucauld and Foucault's Pendulum. Read all of that. If you, when you look at this book, they should be on your mind. When you look at this card, those books, those writings, those influences on culture should be on your mind. And it does. It corresponds with the number 6 position, loyal list with the shadow of fear. The pendulum has a list. And Francois de la Rochefoucauld was advertising, propagating self-love to an extreme degree, and to each their own on that. Tread light, tread carefully, almost with everything, Slick says. This one is so gratifying. This is Voltaire, y'all. This is Voltaire. And everybody's like, oh, that's cute. Volt and Tower, that's cute. It's not fucking cute. This is hardcore. This is so hardcore. Voltaire wrote about the Lisbon disaster. I've done this on previous episodes. If you haven't seen it, maybe I'll link it. The Lisbon disaster put a flood of a deluge of nihilism across the world that was, you could say, was a beta test for Albert Pike's the war with the nihilists. What happened in Lisbon was probably systematically put on the record for the social engineers as to what to do when people's worldview comes down around their ears with a powerful example in their lifetime. We are in the shadow of the Lisbon disaster again because of 9/11. This card is so profound. It's frustrating to see the profundity and watch the world treat these things with such casual okily dokily. Because there is a lot of power in these things. There's a lot of power in these things. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, the moral tarantula, Nietzsche's moral tarantula. Man is born free, yet everywhere he goes he is enchained. And those who would presume to control them are in fact greater slaves themselves. That's what this card is all about. And this is today the social justice warriors who dust off old Grandpappy Rousseau and start marching in the street with silly colored flags. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, right here. It's the adjustment card. And was unpacked into the Ninja Turtles to give people a sense of the vigilante justice. It's so profound how these archons and archetypes get packaged and distributed for marketing purposes. All right. Let's walk through the initial Enneagram and the tarot cards and the library that informs the Slick Dissident worldview. I'm going to take you through the other half. And this is quite the reading list. Understand that, what is the last book I finished? Slick doesn't finish a lot of his books, y'all. Don't be thinking that I'm some master librarian, read all the everything. Slick hardly finishes most of what he reads, all right? All right. I want to keep it straight. I want to keep it real. I barely finish most of what I read. But I get the spirit, and I convey it pretty well, I think. This one is the Aeon. You're going to want Socrates, the dialogues of the Aeon from the Republic, and you will be learning about inspiration, the Rhapsodies. And one thing about the Aeons is they know how to dress. They know how to, they're dressed for success. The Playboy image is way older than hip-hop, y'all. These go back to the Rhapsodies. You gotta look good to convince. It's pretty funny. Also, with the Aeon, dark side note, read Schopenhauer's Essays on Noise. The Essays on Noise, where he is talking about the sound of the whips on the horses out his window are driving him crazy. And he ended up going out and getting in a scuffle with some old biddy on his stoop. And what is really happening in the subtext of Essays on Noise is Schopenhauer is exemplifying what influence is. The window is always your clue that you're dealing with influence. The window, it's also going to be a hail to Urania, essentially, because they believe that influenza was the stars coming through your window, causing a draft, and taking your kids away. That's what they believe. So every time you hear window, boom, Urania in the house. Every time. And Schopenhauer complaining about the sound outside of his window influencing his sense of sanity. It's all there. It's all there. So this is Essays on Noise and the Aeon with Socrates. Get some, y'all. Go get some. Don't worry about the stela of revealing. Don't even worry about that. That was some whatever comedy. All right. Right here. This is Carl Jung. Everything Carl Jung. This is the Peter Parkour. Agent 488. The Avenger of Philemon. Get some, y'all. Get some. This is a crucial card right here. This is crucial. This is going to be Indus, the Indus constellation, in the feathers, tickled by the feathers of the peacock right here. And that's Tiresias as well. You read Tiresias, you read Carl Jung, you'll feel it. You'll feel it. Bertrand Russell, good luck. Talk about books I didn't finish. All right. Let's see. The Chariot card, Socrates. This is Socrates, Joan of Arc. Get some Joan of Arc on this also. I think. Who else? Dang. Straight Socrates, y'all. Socrates is set. He's the set Arcos. This is the Gunga Mama Birnbaum in the Capoeira Roda. It's highly sacred. It's highly sacred. There's a ton of things I don't even talk about. Y'all would think I was crazy, but this is highly sacred. And it is because of the Cancer aspect. It is a crown. It's a bit of a Keter in its own right. Is that right? Malkuth? No, it's a Malkuth. Whichever one is the crown of the two. Because the Tropic of Cancer is the highest. Also, the Caesar cipher is in here. All ciphers. This is the ciphering cipher master. This is the camera of the Chimera of America. This is the camera of the Chimera of America. This is the desire for attention, the desire for Athena shine. Yeah, this is the need to be the main character. You'll feel it. Joan of Arc, Socrates, heavy card. Turns out in my life, I was a closet Cancer all along. Thought I was a Leo. Nope. Had that Cancer dragon in my shadow. All right. Oh, the Fool card. Study no book for the Fool card. Study no book at all. Go find a new dance you've never done. Capoeira I recommend highly. There's no book for the Fool card. All right. Wittgenstein. Totally Wittgenstein. Freud. Star card. This is freaking the internet. That's the internet. That's pi. That's the AI. Yeah. Damn, y'all. Tulsi Gabbard. But this Age of Aquarius bullshit, it has so much weight. It doesn't have to be real in the sky. It's like, why would you waste your time trying to refute the heavens when everybody is already at the party? Everybody's already at the party. It's so frustrating. Go ahead, you can refute the precession of the equinox all you want, but this party has been happening since I covertly identify as a disco ball. Oh, Thoreau, Thoreau and Emerson. Right here. Thoreau and Emerson. There's some more in the mix, but let's just keep it nice and pure. Thoreau and Emerson. All right. I'm going to call it on that. I got some editing to do. When I forgot, I keep forgetting his name. Carrie Mollusk. I keep forgetting Carrie Mollusk's name. All right, so this is the compendium of the slick dissident shared artistic expression. So now when you guys look upon these tarot cards, you can see the library that I see. You can see these treasures of history as they give and receive our eyes. Much love and respect.